Welcome to episode 10 of Full Court Magic. Man, it's kind of hard to believe in a way that we're already at double digits here for the episodes. It feels like we just started yesterday, and I know 10 is not a lot, but happy to hit this little milestone. And I appreciate, you all tuning in. We're slowly but surely growing this thing, and I definitely appreciate that. All right. Let's get to it. The Orlando Magic drop second straight game since returning home from the West Coast road trip. 106-92 loss to the Detroit Pistons in a game, for all intents and purposes, kind of like with the Houston Rockets, but for different reasons, was right there for the Magic to win. Um, Detroit could not shoot in the first half. I mean, this is all there is to it. I believe from the perimeter, they were 1 of 18 going into halftime, and the Magic were, in a much more comfortable spot. I believe it hit about 38 percent, a little bit over of their 3-point attempts going into the break, and also held on to a small lead. Um, the crazy part is that things did not get better for the Pistons from the perimeter. Um, it at any juncture in this game. And I'll get to that soon, but really, Detroit's you know got one of the top defenses in the NBA, and uh, it paid its dividends in the second half, and the Magic just faltered and couldn't make anything happen really on that or on the offensive side of the ball when Detroit turned up the pressure because the Pistons realized we're not making shots. Let's lean on our defensive tenacity and prowess, and that they did. And Coach Jamal Mosley described it as a tale of two halves. You know, um, the Magic were leading 57-50 at the half. Like I said, that's not a big lead by any means, but it's a lead nonetheless. They were shooting much better than the Pistons, but turnovers became a central theme of their downfall. The rest of the game, the Magic ended up finishing the game with 19 turnovers that Detroit was able to convert into 26 points. Orlando's three-point shooting also regressed by the end of the third. Um, it was 7 of 24 from deep. And then by the end of the game, the Magic were 10 of 36 from long range. That's just not going to cut it, especially when you have a chance to even just shoot marginally better than your opponent. The Pistons finished 4 for 30 from the three-point line. So, you know, I mean, it ended up being two poor shooting nights. I mean, yeah, one team was 13.3%, which is abysmal. But the Magic were only 27.8%. And it's just not going to cut it. The Magic were also out rebounded by 13. Detroit grabbed 55 boards. The Magic grabbed 42. Um, and had a few more offensive rebounds than the Magic. And so just multiple things here. The shot wasn't falling for the Pistons, so they relied on their other strengths and just terrorized the Magic defensively and bullied them on the boards. So that's one takeaway here. Another that I found interesting, we got Paolo Banchero in post game, and this was a bizarre Paolo game because after having no turnovers in the loss to Houston on Thursday, Paolo turned the ball over 9 times. Um, 9 times. It's nearly half of his team's turnovers were on him. And I think what made it worse, and something that he expressed clear frustration with, is the fact that he was not aggressive enough on top of turning the ball over. And for context, so as I just mentioned, he had 9 turnovers. He only had 10 shot attempts. So he had 24 points, which led the team 13 of those points came at the free throw line. He hit 13 of his 16 attempts, but 9 turnovers, 10 shot attempts. Um, that's just not gonna work in any shape or form. It's not a winning basketball formula when your best player um, is turning the ball over, but is also in some ways being passive. And he took accountability for it. I'll read you guys a couple of his quotes here. He said, "Yeah, I just gave them too many opportunities. Um, I think it was a couple of bad passes, trying to give it up to my teammates when maybe I should have just shot it. Just a bad night. Last game I had no turnovers. This game I had 9, so pretty frustrating." And he went on later to talk about he said, "I only took 10 shots, so I think I could have been a lot more aggressive. Could have looked to score a lot more, but I did a great job getting downhill in the first half. In the second half, our offense just got stagnant, and I think that me having 9 turnovers, it just wasn't a good enough effort by me." End quote. So, Paolo, clearly frustrated by his reluctance to shoot, potentially overthinking situations. I don't want to speak for him. I'm just, analyzing the quotes, but clearly wanted to be in a better position for his team, and kind of just shot himself in the foot, and by the extension, his team. I mean, he's a leader. He's the face of this franchise, and you can't have 9 turnovers and 10 shot attempts, especially when you're shooting efficiently. I mean, he's 5 for 10 from the field, 50%. You're getting to the line, you're 6'10, 250 plus. Keep driving, keep getting to the rack, especially when uh, another thing I forgot to mention, tonight was the first night that Anthony Black has missed this season. The Magic have played 59 games. Black has appeared in 58 of them. But he missed this game with a right quad contusion, and the Magic probably missed his scoring. I mean, he's averaging close to 16 points a game this year, has uh, not been as electric as he was, pre All-Star break in ways, but nevertheless, demonstrating exponential growth, and a marked increase in his offensive production. And when you lose him and Franz Wagner's still not back, this is a Paolo Banchero game where he needs to be the guy. Like, he needs to be the guy. You can't finish with just 10 shot attempts, because you look at this and you look at how poorly the Pistons shot from 3, and the Magic still lost this game by 14 points. Does any of that change if Paolo's maybe a little more aggressive? Who knows? Maybe he would think so too. It certainly seemed that way based off the press conference. There was a silver lining, though, in this game, and that was Tristan da Silva scoring 19 points. This is one of the more productive Tristan da Silva games uh, that we have seen in a long time. And because of the absence of Anthony Black and Franz Wagner, there is more onus on him to deliver. And he did. 19-point night, 8 of 13 from the field, 3 of 6 from long range. He also added 2 steals and a block uh, in just under 37 minutes of action. And so, you need that from him, because many times last season, De Silva was thrust into it, and delivered. And now it's like he's had plenty of those chances, but it doesn't, like, in some ways it hasn't felt like he has the same, like, gravity to his game. But I will give him credit. In the West Coast trip, he had a pair of double figure scoring nights, and then tonight the 19 points, that's the most he's had here in a couple months. And so, good for him. The Magic are going to need that. Who knows with Anthony Black, a right quad contusion, who knows how much time he's going to miss. Franz Wagner, his status still very much up in the air. An indefinite absence. Um, and this team has grown so accustomed to the next man up mentality. Um, but even when players are getting their reps, they don't always deliver in the spots that they need to. But De Silva, if you're going to get more Tristan De Silva games like this, then you're in a better spot yeah, to win some of these basketball games. I mean, really, the only negative here is he was a -8 when he was on the floor, but he didn't really turn the ball over. Only had two turnovers. Um, played defense, grabbed 6 boards to go with the 19 points. And that's about the best that you can ask of him, and he gave this team that. So, um, but yeah, just another bad loss. I mean, you could have. This is twice now. You could have beaten really good teams, and we're talking about you know the makings of a really nice win streak for the Magic. But these are two games that were quite frankly blown respectively in different ways here. And the Magic need to really adjust what's going on, especially in these situations where a team starts to attack a point of weakness instead of as Paolo Banchero said, like remaining with a stagnant offense or whatever the case may be. Um, but when this team's flaws get exposed, the adjustment doesn't always come quick enough, and sometimes it doesn't come at all. And they pay for it. And this is two losses now in which they've paid for it. And so, got to bounce back. Got a struggling Washington team that's coming in here on Tuesday, but you can't fall asleep on anyone in the NBA, even the bad teams. And so they're gonna have to be ready to go against Washington before um, you get a more talented but still struggling Dallas Mavericks team on Thursday, and then so on and so forth. So it's they're just gonna have to be ready to go. That's all there is to it. Star player cannot have 9 turnovers and 10 shot attempts. Your 3-point shooting can't fall off a cliff. You can't turn the ball over collectively. Wendell Carter Jr. can't have 4 points on 6 shot attempts. Jalen Suggs, it was a stinker for him, 417. So like this hardly falls all on one guy. Like this is a collectively bad game when in the first 2 quarters it looked as if things could turn out favorably. But it that's the thing. I mean, a lead is a house of cards in the NBA. It's very fragile and it can fall apart. And it when you have a big lead, so to only have a 7-point lead at the half, I mean, against the best team in the Eastern Conference, things can fall apart quickly. But that's pretty much all I got for this one. Um, yeah, another Magic loss. Going to try to get back in the win column on Tuesday against the Washington Wizards. I will be bringing you guys a post-game show as well. And, once again, thanks for hanging out with me and tuning into these. Like I said, happy to be on episode 10 and looking forward to finishing the season strong. So I'm Don Struble, and this has been Full Court Magic.